put together a comprehensive list of different ways that each of these apps can target these specific modes of communication.
Yeah. I think it's so important to point out that just doing one of these things doesn't give us the deep learning we're really hoping for. So that's what I like about these literacy domains, is that I know if a learner has done all four of these things, or at least multiple things in here, their learning is being deepened by it. Do you mind if I share about a couple of these tools here, Brenna?
Yeah, please do.
So obviously under listening, we love the idea of using Listenwise to listen to these short audio pieces and these podcasts. There's also Libby for ebooks is a great tool I use to listen to ebooks myself. We also we don't think that listening should replace reading. It should be used alongside of it. They're the two domains that are that interpretive viewing domains. So we've got tools like Newsella. We've got for great current events articles and things like that that can be leveled for your readers. We've got ebook tools like Epic and Sora and Libby. We've also got Common Lit, where students can get articles and information to read from and bring in, maybe they're from this about the same exact topic, maybe from different perspectives, maybe from the same, but letting them view and interpret that information in different ways. And then we get onto the expressive piece. Now, for writing, obviously, there's plenty of different ways we could do it. And we certainly could do it on pencil and paper. But if we're thinking about doing it on technology, I love Jamboard, a great, easy place for students to write and then see each other's writing and comment on each other's writing and communicate about that writing. I love blogging tools like EduBlogs and Blogger are great tools for blogging. And then we've got tools like Book Creator, where we can make ebooks, right, and put our writing into an actual ebook. And then Padlet is very similar to Jamboard because we could do that in there. And Hector, I see put in the chat there, familiar with Jamboard, but is not Appsmash with Listenwise. I think it's a great way. It's a very simple Appsmash, right? Everything in Listenwise has a link. Pop that link into Jamboard. Ask students to respond, ask them to reflect, ask them to express their thinking using writing. And then on the speaking end of things, we've got Moat, which is a great audio recording tool, Anchor, which is great for podcasts for you to use to record your own podcasts, Flip, also for audio and video responses. And we could easily put a link to a Listenwise article and maybe, a Listenwise podcast and maybe a Newsella article in the Flip and say, listen to this, read this, and then respond to your classmates, right? And then I mentioned Book Creator and Padlet over on the left, but they also have audio responses in them. So we could also speak or write in there. That gives us kind of that access and engage UDL piece, engage in the way that works best for you.
I was thinking of one question is, how might you use this outside of an ELA or ELD class setting to Appsmash? Like, how might you use it in a science or social studies setting?
Yeah, well, my most recent role was an 8th grade science teacher. The year before this, I was in the 8th grade science classroom. And so there's, number one, there's current events that are happening with maybe astronomy or maybe the upcoming eclipse that we've got coming up next year, right? Or different things happening in space or in our climate or natural disasters or things like that. And so what a great way to use some of those current events. Listen to some content from Listenwise, read some content from on Newsella, assess students for comprehension in both of those, but then also use one of the the writing or speaking tools to then engage them in conversation about it. And by the time they're done, they've got deep understanding of the content. I've got deep understanding of where they're at with their comprehension, and they've also communicated with each other. So we've built this really cohesive environment that's what Appsmashing does, right? It adds different tools together to complete a job in a way that none of them could complete by themselves, right? If I'm going to build a shed in my backyard, I'm going to need a hammer and a saw and a drill and a tape measure and all of these things. That's Appsmashing, right? I can't do it with just one of those tools. I need multiple tools for it.